Hello, this is Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Flute Art Studio Gallery. This is a 10 by 10 inch canvas that's dry that I painted with Artist Loft, I think. That was a piece of t-shirt with a little piece of hem, and I'm currently dumping it into my bucket of water. I'm going to dry my hands off with it. And I don't know if you can tell how much water is in there, but it's not a lot. And I'm hoping that it's enough. So I'm basically going to fold up the back end so that I can pull it down through. And I'm also going to use my Pepebeo Orange that I added some Purely pigments to. I'm a Colourarte affiliate, so you'll find a 20% off Colourarte coupon code. But I used some Hollyberry in my my Pepebeo Orange and Australian Floetrol cell activator. And this is all about testing things out for me. So I've got some favorite colors, and I'm going to use them in a way that I used to use them like 5 years ago. This is Waterlily. If I can get it to come out. This is SeaDancer. This Waterlily is a Prizm pour. SeaDancer is a primary element. I also have some Phthalo Turquoise, which is a vivid intense. And I'm going to add to that some vivid intense Ultramarine blue, as long as it's open. Already looks like more paint than I need. My paint colors and recipes will be in the description under the video. Last but not least, probably not last either, Fluorescent blue, which is another vivid intense. Which is in one of those testy bottles. Dip my knuckle into my painting. It's not going to make any difference. Part of me is dying to try the orange on some black. But I think what I'm going to do instead right now is go for the Waterlily. You know what? I'm going to start with the Waterlily, which is ready to have some more mixed, and I hope I have some more. And then I'm going to come back in with some African Violet. I've got the Prussian Violet too. It's very tempting. Let's use the Prussian Violet instead. As long as I can get it open, we should be all set. Because it's very dark. Now when I used to do this even on large canvases, I'd put my cell activator right on the canvas, which I think is probably not a bad idea. I'm going to try it anyway. One way or the other, we're going to figure it out. Only my cell activator back then was never with Australian Floetrol. Feeling like I want a little bit more, and I got to get rid of that cat hair. A little bit more water. Not so it's dripping, but just before that point. And that seems like a whole lot of rag. I'm going to go right down the center and see what happens. I want black. Okay. Can't fault me for that. The black is Meeden Black. I wanted gold too, and I forgot all about it. Let's go from one side and then the other. And I'm wiping that off. I used to just tap it off on the top and the edges. Well, I've got some cell action, wow, at the top, but not so much anywhere else. So maybe I'm going to throw that rag in the bucket, and I'm going to take my whatever kind of trowel this is. It's a spatula of sorts, and I don't need that, but I do need this. I'm going to take that blue, fill right in the edge. Now that worked like 100% better than my wet t-shirt, which used to work great, but I was only using Floetrol Laden Artist Loft Black back then. Kind of makes me want to to go back over it on the other side. Just blowing the orange up over. I'm going to take my finger, run it along the top. I need to hit it with a torch to see what I'm going to see. I'm still not convinced I'm not going to do something over here like I did over here. This side did not bubble up particularly, except for that one that I was just having a hard time with. And I'm wondering if maybe I could come in. I wish my turntable would go back to behaving. Sorry about my head. I'm going to use, I do have some nice cells up here, but not enough. And I've got beautiful lacing from using this spatula. So, how am I going to do this? I think I'm going to do it this way. And I want to do two things. I want to use the cell activator on an acetate tool. Wish I'd used a lot more purple. And I'm going to try, just because I can, some of the water lily right on top of it. Because it's no masterpiece we're destroying, you know. That didn't do anything to impress me either. Well, I'm not minding that design, and if I have to put that design in there that way in particular, it might be a pain in the... Yeah. Okay, let me find a smaller acetate tool, and I want to see the water lily come up. I really, really do. I'm almost completely convinced my orange cell activator definitely works. I have a plan. My plan is to make it look like sunlight bouncing off the water if I can. Not in this particular piece, which may only be seen by members. Which reminds me, the members only library has over 200 videos. Now, because that worked the last time, I'm going to do it again. I still didn't see the water lily come up until I blew into the paint. do like blowing spirals in. I kind of need one more section, even though I'm not interested in destroying that. And I need to wipe that acetate tool off. And I'm so glad that the studio rag I'm using stays damp for days, and I have no idea why. It's made for some Danskin shorts. Well, I guess I'm going to use the water lily, even though it doesn't come up without me blowing in it. I'm going to use it anyway. See if I can make a painting out of it. I might be able to tip it and get rid of some of that blue. Alright, got to go back to doing the same thing I just did. I don't know if I can tip it, but I want to try, and I've got an edge catcher handy, conveniently enough. Helps if you don't. What is that? Something that definitely didn't belong. Oh, we got drippage. It's going to be very organic looking. And I'm just going to take the paint that's there and move it down. So far it's just weird. But hopefully I can make something slightly more appealing out of it before I'm done. I never did put any gold in, and I really could. I also plan on putting some spirals in if I can find the right tool. I don't know why the cell activator stayed on one side and not on the other. That's pretty peculiar. And I definitely need to steal some paint. And luckily it's pretty thick. Go down over the edge. And I can probably just pick up what I need right out of the bottle. Alright, that's weird. I'm not ready to call it cool yet. I'm not sure what to do with this actually. But I know how I like how the water lily looks, and since it seems to keep disappearing on me, I'm going to put some more in. Yeah, that made no sense, but that's okay because I give myself permission. What do I have? I've got some paint on my spatula and a naked side on my canvas. Sometimes experiments don't go as planned. This would be that. And worst case scenario, I can always black my edges. I wish the turntable would behave though. Well, I like those. I think I like them enough to add another one. And maybe another one still. Not sure. But in the meantime, as the turntable turns goes on, This is my black cell activator. I'm kind of surprised I didn't think about using some white. That little orange patch already made no sense to me, so I figured why worry about making sense? It does make me want to tip it down though. I just would prefer it didn't swallow the coolest cells in this painting. But I picked a straw with spit in it. Not a good choice. I need to have like 4 or 5 handy, so... Well, there's another one. That'll work. Alright, so where's my Decoart Americana 24 karat gold? I am so frustrated by this turntable. Stop turning. Doesn't have to make sense, it just has to look cool. I just dropped my bottle right into the edge. Alright, I'm actually liking that, believe it or not. And there is something in my painting, and I have tweezers. They're on my Amazon link. My Amazon link is on the link tree. The link tree is in the description under Show More. I kind of want a little bit more water lily. Figures I could use 18 minutes. Alright, well, if that goes off again, you'll be gone. I guess I'm going to allow myself to mess with that little zone of cells that I liked from the original successful part of the painting. I'm blowing the gold around just to make it integrate somewhat better. But what I'm mostly thinking is that it's going to spread out a little bit. I'm going to bring 10 straws in my studio, none of which are going to have spit in them. Alright, the problem with the turning turntable is sometimes I like it to turn, and this is... Alright, I'm kind of okay with this now. Doesn't look like anything else, which I always say is a good thing. It's definitely some kind of underwater scene. I'm going to tell you guys, I have 33 playlists. And everything is also organized by topic and genre. Should you want any of it, ask me. I'll turn you on to swipes or fantasyscapes or geometrics or... And you're going to be gone in a second. I love you guys. Come again. I post at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's kind of charming. I got to turn this off. I'll see you anon.